Yes. So, I would like to talk about making peace and having a fair peace from the point of view of somebody who made movies like Dracula's Rebirth-to the Sleeping Beauty, and also The Good, the Bad, and Mrs. Harmony. But on this topic, it is mainly Dracula's Rebirth-to the Sleeping Beauty, even though the one my grandmother and then my mother and myself used to call the Sleeping Beauty, she is not so much of an example to what I'm going to say later, because she had her son, she gave birth to her son, from what I realize, already during the rule of Ceausescu. So, probably she and her family were privileged in the communist rule. That is what I understand. And it's true, because when I used to come and visit her family in Romania, I was always asked to buy the most expensive coffee, and the most expensive cigarettes, and the most expensive everything else. Regarding cigarettes and regarding coffee as well, I don't even know the difference. Regarding whiskies, regarding wine, well, there are sweet wines, and there is sweet kind of wine and more bitter kind of wine, if we say that. All right, but there is also dry wine. But like cigarettes, it's, as the way I see it, it's the same kind of smoke. Yes, but in any case. So, but first of all, I would like to sing the current Romanian anthem, because since mentioning Dracula's Rebirth to the Sleeping Beauty. The first stanza, I will not sing, there are actually 11 stanzas, but commonly they sing 4 stanzas. But the first one. Deșteaptă-te, romene, din somnul cel de moarte, în care ta dancire, barbari de tiran, barbare de tiran. Acum, ori niciodată, croiește-ți alta soarte, la care s-a se întinde și cruzii tăi dușman, și cruzii tăi dușman. Acum, ori niciodată, croiește-ți alta soarte, la care s-a se închine și cruzii tăi dușman, și cruzii tăi dușman. So, after the First World War, Germany suffered economically and in other ways due to the peace agreements, the Versailles Agreements. They held Germany responsible for the First World War, even though it was actually the Austro-Hungarian Empire which deliberately started the First World War, but Germany was together with the Austro-Hungarian Empire. So, yes, so it's like the co-aggressor. But nonetheless, when peace is done, peace has to be done in a dignified way for all sides. Like if we make, I mean, if the US now wants to make peace with Ukraine, should be in a dignified way and not to, like, force Ukraine to pay with its minerals in a way that binds it for the future generations or for many years. In any case, the First World War ended with Germany surrendering due to economic problems, and the peace treaty was humiliating. It wasn't actually peace, it was capitulation, having to pay compensation to France or to Belgium, having to limit its army, having to dismantle its air force, to give up its colonies. So Germany had to give up its colonies and to dismantle its air force and to limit its army to 100,000 soldiers, and to pay compensation to France and to Belgium, and to avoid having soldiers in the Rhine area and the Saar area. So, and of course, after that, there were more lenient agreements, and then Hitler came to power, and some other countries thought, all right, they will be lenient, they will not be relentless, they will let Germany have air force, they will let Germany have larger navy than the original agreements. And then they didn't do anything when Germany marched soldiers into the Saar and the Rhine, which was understandable. And then Germany just occupied Austria. And then, without Czechoslovakia committing any act of aggression, apparently, there was the Minsk agreement. So that is, one has to remember that. It was between Nazi Germany and also fascist Italy and the allies of Czechoslovakia. Not worldwide. There were only Britain and France. So, I mean, comparing any agreement to end the war in Ukraine to the Minsk agreement is just not relevant. It's out of context, totally. And also, people not only distort history, they see it in a narrow-minded way. They regard Chamberlain as the one who betrayed Britain, or the United States, or the Jews, and Churchill as the savior of Britain, or the savior of the United States, or the savior of the Jews. Well, but the fact is, Chamberlain betrayed Czechoslovakia, and Churchill betrayed Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, Poland, Romania, and other Eastern European countries at the end of the Second World War. And Churchill also conducted a man-made famine in Bangalore, which is similar, not the same, not as terrible, but I mean, the deaths or the number of dead people due to Churchill's famine was about 3 million, similar to what Stalin did 10 years before in Ukraine, but Stalin killed that way, I don't know. Some people say 15 million or 14 million. And even the Soviet archives speak about 7 million dead. But in any case, so that is also, making analogies and worshipping people is not right. And also, since the fall of the communist bloc, since the end of the Eastern Bloc, since the end of the Cold War, then some people came and had negative ideas, and they came to adults or to children and said, "Do you see that? We would give you it if you start demonstrating against your government or promoting our ideas." And that was a destructive thing. And then they used to say, and then there was the idea of global warming, and the idea of, later the idea of the corona and the ways to deal with it. Of course, the global warming is part of nature, part of natural history. There were times of global warming, and there were times of global cooling. That the Earth used to be colder and colder when it occasionally goes further and further from the sun. Then it becomes colder. And when it comes closer and closer to the sun, it becomes warmer.